All right, guys. This is DJ Wolf. Of course, you know the program here is DJ Wolf Live on my DJ Wolf Live channel on YouTube and on Spreaker. Yes, Spreaker is a simulcast. Anyway, let me talk about my thoughts on this year's Black History. It's a lot to reflect on and a lot to try to figure out what the fuck. This is DJ Wolf Live. All right, guys. This is your boy DJ Wolf here. I like to get to 200 subscribers. I like to. Two people I follow, Rochelle, which is Coco. I forgot her. But anyway, she made 10,000 subscriptions. And my man Chris Thomas just got 1,500. And I tell you the truth, he was talking about something to do with, even though, he got a good amount of subscriptions and everything, but some people say that they find boring. Some people find me boring. But you know what? Just like Chris Thomas and just like Coco, we keep it real. We keep it honest, And I try to keep it honest myself on a lot of topics. Black people don't want to hear the truth. A lot of times, we don't. I mean, I'm just going to simply put it out there. It's true. You hold yourself to the mirror, and in the mirror, you don't like what you see. That's basically what that is. I was watching an episode of Iyanla just last night. It was this couple on here. The couple, heterosexual couple, of course, man and woman. They met each other online from a dating site. I guess they dated for 2 years, and they're trying to get ready to get married. But I guess they had some issues in the relationship where the guy actually, fell on hard times in terms of his health, and it was a little setback for him. He had lost his leg. His leg was amputated, and his old lady, I guess, has to go out and do a lot of stuff that he can't do. And as a result of that, she feels empowered over him. And he kind of don't seem to mind it. But when Iyanla tried to point some of the things out about the woman, actually, she didn't even actually attack the woman like she normally will. You know how she is when some people are screwed up and Iyanla trying to put the reflection in their face. She didn't even get to that point. The woman just started snapping on her. I don't want to give too many details about it, but you had to watch it to see. Well, that's kind of like how I feel about Black History Month this year. It's a reflection of this year for some reason, but the difference is you got the mainstream media throwing it in our face with R. Kelly and Jussie Smollett and this other gay actor who was at the Oscars on Sunday night. And I saw a glimpse of it yesterday morning, and then I saw the full picture or pictures Monday night. And this guy had a full-on, the top of the part of his outfit, he had a bow tie, and it looked like an upper cummerbund, but it really wasn't. I think he tried to make it look like he actually had breasts or something. That's the way it looked. I couldn't make that out. And then the rest of them was nothing but a big old dress. This guy got full hair on his face, everything. I was like, what the fuck? It was just the weirdest thing, man. I was like, what the fuck is this, man? And of course the media are going to highlight all of this shit. Oh, he looks just blah, blah, blah. Oh, wow, oh my God. And they're making... and then on top of that, don't forget, Trayvon Martin was killed in February. I don't remember the exact date. I think it might have been just before Valentine's Day. I don't remember, but I know it was around the middle of February when he was murdered. Yeah, he was murdered. He wasn't murdered in self-defense. He was murdered. Trust me, I heard the audio. The entire audio proved it. The audio that they didn't admit into evidence because they claimed it was quote unquote inadmissible. That was a bunch of bullshit. That evidence, as far as I'm concerned, if that evidence would have been heard, I think you would have had a different outcome for George Zimmerman. No doubt about that. You know, but that thing was all a game. Those people were all bought. They were all bought and paid for anyway. You know, no doubt about that. I'm totally convinced of that. I ain't convinced of it. I'm sure. But the media never really talked much about the murder of Trayvon Martin. They don't want to reopen those wounds. See, corporate media actually runs your local media. Yeah. A lot of people probably don't know that. Of course, the local stations down here in D.C., just like the local stations in my hometown and other places across the country, are run by newspaper corporations, business corporations, and media conglomerates. Those are the ones that try to psych you into believing what they want you to believe, not what you should see for yourself. They want to convince you what's good, what's bad for you. They do it all the time. The Consumer Reports is a part of that. That's another whole story. But my thing is, you know, somebody pointed out how victims of crimes who are black always get blasted in the media. Trayvon Martin was one I noticed once he was first murdered, and George Zimmerman they were forced to go arrest George Zimmerman. The first thing they did, the media, the lamestream media, went out and said, "Oh, Trayvon Martin, let's look at his records. Let's look at his school history. Let's see what he was about." Oh, he was about smoking weed and skipping school and all this other bullshit. I think I mentioned to you guys, I almost got into it with a coworker about that right around that time. Even he tried right off Trayvon Martin. He like, he was just a thug. I said, you know what? You got a lot of white kids out here that are nerds to smoke weed too, man. Newsflash. I told him that straight out. And like I said, it didn't matter if he was a thug or not. To be murdered in cold blood for something you didn't do is complete bullshit. I know some people out here, some guys out here who are thugs. I know, you know, and not everybody you think is a thug, you know. And that's the other thing. Because white people's perception of us has always been managed by the corporate media. Forever. From slavery on up. Ooh, they're bad. They're slaves. They don't mean nothing. That's what they said then. Ooh, they're bad. They're just thugs. They're just black people who do all kind of shit and smoke weed and get women pregnant and all this other shit. I'm tired of that, man. Even during Black History Month, they disrespected us. You know, it just stinks, man. It reeks of bullshit. You know, and I'm tired of it. I mean, like I said, by the way, I wanted to give you a little side note. My For All to Hear channel is back up. What I did, I realigned my channel. DJ Wolf Live, we'll be talking about all current events and my music as well. But For All to Hear is going to be a little bit more on the political side. I plan on it to be that way because I'm tired of the bullshit. You know. But getting back to what I was saying, you know, the media tries to play up on, especially the Democrats. The Democrats is another story. I'll get that in a second. But the media wants to manipulate to people what's good and what's not good for them. And they've always thrown us under the bus as African Americans. They've always done it. They've never had any love for us anyway. They still don't. Even your own black media. Look at Ebony Magazine now. Run by a white corporation now. Black people don't even run that mug no more. They don't run it at all. They don't run it at all. It's ridiculous. You know, haven't ran it in years. I don't even think Johnson Publishing even owns them anymore. They might own them in name, but I don't think they own them outright. But that's another whole story. You know, BET, which used to be owned in part by Robert Johnson, no longer owns BET. BET is owned solely by white people. Viacom runs that mug. Yeah, Viacom, CBS, Paramount owns it. Okay? That's a fact. TV One is in part run by Comcast, NBC, Universal. You know? Those aren't black-owned media. They're maybe black-run, like BET has a figurehead, Deborah Lewis, Deborah Lee, I think it's Deborah Lee. Anyway, she, you know, is figurehead for BET, just like Kathy Hughes is for TV One. I think she's still part of TV One. But I know Radio One, I understand she does actually own, I think. But TV One, I know, is in part ran by NBC. That's pretty well known, Comcast. But what I'm saying is, the media, the mainstream media's right arm is still the white foot on your black neck. It is. Always have been. And continue to do so. That's the bad part about it. And I want to talk about the Democrats too, because the Democratic side, to me, they're all the same. They're all about getting votes. They're really not about real issues for certain people. I mean, put it like this. When it comes to us as African Americans, they just want our vote. But actually now, they're starting not to even want our vote anymore, because now the new agenda is to get votes from people that are not of African descent anymore. You know? But they just really want our votes just to use us for political gain. And it's always been that way. You know? One of the things I've talked about before many times over is the way Barack Obama used our votes. And to me, it hurts me, man, because I had so much hope for that brother. I really did. And I know some people say, well, he did this. No, Barack, honestly, he kowtowed too much. The stuff that Trump is doing right now as number 45, and one thing I give Trump credit for, and not that I can say much for that, but the one thing I can give him credit for, he stands ground for his base. Barack Obama has never really stood ground for our base. He has never done it in the 8 years he's been in office. Because if he had, he'd have put the kibosh on that bullshit that's been going on for 8 years during his presidency, like all these multiple murders of young African American men and women. He would have put the kibosh on that a long time ago with Eric Holder. They didn't do a damn thing. Eric Holder went to St. Louis, shook hands, said we're going to get to the bottom of it. He left. A few weeks later, Daniel Wilson walked. Officer Wilson walked. He walked. And this is from a guy who shot a black teenager 6 times in the back. Yeah, that's facts. But I know some of y'all dumbasses are gonna say, "Oh well, he attacked the guy at the store. He grabbed on the cop." Now, the guy was unarmed. I'll say that. But to be shot 6 times in the back is too much. I'm sorry. I'm gonna honestly say that. You did it out of pure hate. No doubt about that. You did it out of pure hate. One thing I can honestly say, and this is no dig to most officers, it's not, but there are officers that are out there that will talk to you with total disrespect. It's happened to me. Matter of fact, the last time I got stopped by an officer when I was driving and made a legal move on the road, didn't hurt anybody. This is a long story. I talked about that on here before too. Extremely condescending. You know, I talked to him very pleasantly. I gave him my license. I gave him my registration. So here you go, officer. This is what I have. Blah 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 blah. And he just went in on me, man. Really. He wasn't bad, but I've had some that worse. But to me, it's just they all talk that way to you. Usually the black officers don't talk like that to me. It's usually the white officers that talk like that to me. And some have been worse than that. You know, I had one stop me many years ago. He was a complete asshole, man. Complete ass. But I won't even get into that either. That's a very long story, and I'd be all day talking about that. But, you know, and I know it's a tough job. It can't be an easy job because you don't know the person who you stopping on the other end, what their intentions are, you know? So you have to be a little bit forceful, and I can kind of understand that. You have to be a little bit intimidating on that. So, but it's nerve-wracking when you get stopped because you don't know what some of these guys' intentions are anymore, you know? And some of them got that itchy trigger finger. You know, they do. I mean, I'm going to keep it honest. You know, this is still for all to hear, baby. You know? But I'm going to say this. I said before, I'm going to say it again. In order for us to move forward in our communities, we got to think forward. We got to think ahead. We got to think with some common sense, man. The do's and the don'ts and what you need to do to get yourself together and stop trying to worry about the party and bullshit all the time. You know, there's a time for everything. There's a time to party. There's a time to get your head right. Now it's time to get your head right and everything else. Because I think in some cases for too long, we take what these guys out here do on us for granted. In other words, we don't take anything serious about anything. Yeah, Trump's a clown and a joke, but look what he's doing. Look what he's getting away with. You know, and look who's now stopping. The House had been talking about what Democrats said they were going to take over the House back in January. They said, well, we're going to do this to try to get impeach him. Okay, it's almost February. Almost matter of fact, it's almost March. Okay, Friday will be March 1st. Now, they've been in office since January. It's almost March, and you haven't seen any shred of an action yet other than the Mueller investigation. You know, my thing is, why isn't Trump up on charges? But that's another whole story. I don't want to even get into that ramification of that. But, you know, he ought to be. He ought to be. He really should. Yeah, I said it. He should be up on charges. Here's the thing. In order for us to move forward and to progress in our communities, we seriously need to start getting some, how can I put it, rules of the road for your kids, man. That's number one. But the adults got to get this shit together, too. You know, kids ain't going to be able to get this shit together if the adults aren't getting their shit together. That's part of the problem on its own. We got to stop tolerating all these things that's going on in communities and just not tolerate it anymore. See, back in the day, people wouldn't tolerate badass kids. I mean, you would deal with them, you would love them and give them, you know, talk to them or whatever and try to mold them, but you wouldn't tolerate the stuff that they're doing today. No way. You know, back in the day, you had parents that stood the ground when it came to what the kids did out here on the streets and all of that. You know, you wouldn't be trying to baby up Pookie and Ray Ray and all them, for real. And you know, you would you have some standards. You wouldn't have all these women all over the place. But it's true. Let's be honest. This is for all to hear. You wouldn't have women left and right having multiple kids out of wedlock with 3-4 different daddies, and then talking about, I'm dating this boy, this guy. Okay, for a potential another daddy. That's another whole story. I'm not even going to go into detail about that. Somebody I know is kind of in that deal right now. But we need standards. You know, you can't talk about what they're doing to your celebrity people out here on the streets and shit, like Jussie Smollett. You know, the unfair treatment of him compared to Robert Kraft, and we ain't got our shit together. You know, although I'll admit that is biased. It's biased as fuck, because you know Robert Kraft's gonna get off. He's doing some shady shit himself, but they're gonna get him off just like they did Weinstein and Les Moonves. They will not see a day in court. You know? What we need is power, man. I mean, we need political power. We do. We don't have that. Look at Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris was out the gate with political power. You know? And wants to use her blackness, or whatever her blackness is. She is black as far as I'm concerned, but she's black Indian. And not that it make a difference. It's not really about, and I'm going to say it again, because some of y'all are a little bit immature when it comes to that. Some of y'all want to identify her, or want her to identify you with her blackness. And even though she is of black descent, or Jamaican descent, because it's still black to me, and of Indian descent, it doesn't matter. It's her policies. I'm more concerned about policy. She could be white as rice, but if her policies ain't holding up to our community needs, it doesn't mean a damn thing. It really don't. It means nothing. Some of y'all don't get that. Some of y'all worry about, oh, she ain't black enough. Fuck all of it. She ain't black enough shit. You were voting for Hillary Clinton when she wasn't black enough, when she wasn't even close to being black. And y'all was caping for her ass. So I don't want to hear that goofy shit about, well, it's not about her blackness. It's not. It's about her policies. Her policies are just wrong all day long. You know? We read Barack Obama because he was black. We were looking for style over substance. Barack Obama played us up to that. He did. Look at the videos that he did leading him up to becoming president. He was a cool cat. He was a cool daddy. He was a cool president. And black people took it hook, line, and sinker. And don't say y'all didn't, because we all did. We all fell for the beast in the trap, for the banana in the tailpipe, and the okie doke, all at one time. We fell for it. Black women was like, oh, Barack. Trust me on it. They was all over him. They was all over his ass. Literally all over him. This I know for a fact. They were losing their minds. Yet, he wasn't thinking about you. One thing about you. Notice lately, Barack and Michelle have been seen separately at a lot of different functions. Not to say that they weren't together, they've been seen separately, though. In many functions. Lately. She got a book deal. He's out there doing not book tour, public speeches and all of that stuff. And everything he claimed he was going to keep up with, a lot of it he didn't. But that's another story. I'm not going to go into detail about that. But what I'm saying is, and I said it before, we need people who are from the streets. People that grew up from the hood. I'm talking about live there. You know, not the Al Sharpton, do Sharptons, because he come from money too. A lot of people don't know that. Al Sharpton come from money too. That's fact. Not the Maxine Waters. And not the Shady Jessies. I'm talking about Jesse Jackson. You know, you need people who really about the needs of the people. We don't have that. You know? What you got is a bunch of Democrats who just want your vote because they claim they're about freedom. And they really use that to their advantage to get votes and build power. That's what Kamala Harris is about. She doesn't care anything about us as a people, period. She really don't. And her policies have proved that. Beyond question. Bernie Sanders is still a question mark. He has been before. He talks a good game, but really, I don't really think he's going to be able to back it up. And he's 80-something years old. Yeah, you do the math. You figure that out. You know, Elizabeth Warren, no. And Alejandro, whatever her name is, Spanish woman, she claims she's of African descent, but ain't black. If you're African descent, you probably are of well, anyway, you are African, but she don't really claim it. So she's half-stepping. I ain't got time for that either, you know. And don't even get me started on Cory Booker. That's another whole story, you know. Well, my thing is, this is one of the reasons why I do not like to vote. You don't even know who you're voting for anyway. You know, they said vote for me because I promise you this. And I really won't back it up because I don't have the balls to do it. You know. And I let somebody else influence me to do something else other than what you constituents who voted me in for to do something else. You know. Not feeling it. Tell me what you think. Black history has been made a mockery of this month, as far as I'm concerned. It has. You know, the stuff that the media should be focusing on in terms of what we've been wronged on, they don't do. They down it. They downplay it. But the stuff that black people do wrong is always highlighted and spotlighted. Tell me what you think. This is DJ Wolf. I got more to say on the back burner. Much more. I'm out.